If you want to instant kill even the tankiest targets as Naoe in Assassin's Creed Shadows, you can get plus 14 damage on your assassinations and also unlock some very creative ways of taking people out, while also being very stealthy at the same time. In this guide, I'll be showing you how to get the best legendary ninja assassin armor and weapons, and also showing you how to build your character so you can do this too. Starting out and quite early on, we can get this legendary weapon, the Demon's Tooth, a Sarigama chain weapon, which lets you perform rush assassinations from miles away. And the legendary effect on it will give you plus 2 damage when you do that. The great thing is we can get this weapon not too far from the starting region of Izumi Setsu. You just need to come to the northwest corner of the region, just where the ocean is over here. And if you follow this path along the coast, you'll end up in the Takasago wetlands. And you can see here on the map, there's a small river and path to follow that goes north up towards the hot springs, the famous Arima Onsen, just here on the map. And it's at this location just to the north where I'm marking, where you'll be able to find the legendary treasure chest. When you arrive near this hot spring, you'll see a waterfall in the background just to the north. And if you head over to the cliffs there, you'll find the legendary chest just in front of it. But in the legendary chest, we're going to find the Demon's Tooth, which also just looks awesome. Has like a little demon engraving on the sickle part of the weapon. But here's how we're going to get max assassination damage with it. If you go into your masteries and look at the assassination skill tree, you can see that by default we do free damage with our assassinations. Then we're going to get the assassin damage perks, and you can get each one of these perks as you're leveling up. Each one gives you plus 1 damage. So in total now we're doing plus 6 damage just with a normal assassination. Now if we also grab the rush passive, it's not actually an ability, you can use this at any time. And when we do, thanks to the Demon's Tooth legendary ability, we're gonna deal plus 8 assassination damage now. And I'm not certain if ground assassinations also stacks with this, but that would give us plus 9 if you also grab that perk, because technically we are assassinating the enemy on the ground. But we can actually increase this damage even further if we get the following armor set. This next location is in the Yamashiro region, directly in the south, just north of the Izumi Setsu region that we start the game in. And if you zoom into the border just here, you'll see Yamazaki Castle. And if you hover over the map marker, you can see that you have to defeat 5 samurai to unlock this next legendary armor. Now I'll quickly show you where they're all located. So I'm currently at the viewpoint of the castle, and as you can see, it is absolutely massive. The first one is located just down there to our right. So if we just follow the right hand side of the roof here down to the south side of the building, we can quite easily assassinate him from above. Let's make sure we get the right target here and get wrecked some. And you, yeah, you saw that. Good for you. After we've taken out him, you can find the next one walking in between this sort of little area here where the marker is there, just northeast of this lake. You see that's the lake down there, and up the cliff, you'll see this samurai over here. There is actually an explosive pot that can one-hit kill him if he's nearby it. We should be able to take him out down here pretty easily. Wow, why would... Nice job. I guess we'll have to bait him into the explosive pot then. There we go. So after we've killed the guy in this courtyard, just to the north, right in the center, there'll be another samurai walking around in this upper area. And he's literally walking right towards us, so this is a great opportunity to take him down. Yeah, wreck son. And from where we killed him, the area we were before was just down there. And after you take him out, you might also want to get rid of the bell in the distance there. So from here, the next enemy is located in this camp, standing right in front of this purple building I've tagged on the map just here. But as you can see, this is a very crowded area by comparison. You can see he's standing right outside this door here. So what I'd recommend doing is actually going inside this building just here and use the scan ability to assassinate him from behind. Like so. Never gets old. Now we have one final samurai to find and kill. And now we filled in, the last guy is located in this kind of like lake garden down here, just by the entrance here. So you can see this is the garden area. I think, yeah, this is the guy that we need to take out. So we should just be able to use this tree here. We don't get spotted first. Oh, can we get him? Yes, get wrecked. And now we've taken everyone out, we can go and claim the treasure chest, which is in the main tower where the viewpoint is, just at the top of this tower. Once you reach the top of the tower, just go ahead and use the ninja entrance where you can refill your tools and rations. Then we're going to drop into this room where you'll find the legendary chest along with a bunch of other loot, like this umbrella quest item. And this is going to unlock us the legendary Yurei-Walker hood, which has the effect that makes your assassinations do +2 health chunks if you assassinate from the shadows. And that just means that if it's nighttime and you're in the dark or in the shadows, you're going to do +2 damage on your assassinations. Interestingly though, this effect is very forgiving. Even if the enemy is standing in a brightly lit room, so long as you start the assassination from an area of shadow, it still triggers the +2 damage effect, especially if you drag them into a bush or into a shadowy area. And obviously you can even break or extinguish nearby light sources to ensure that you activate the +2 damage effect. Now at this point in the game, you've probably unlocked the forge in your settlement. And once you've upgraded it a couple of ranks, you can now engrave your weapons and armor with additional effects. So I'd highly recommend going to the forge and engraving this hood with another extra effect. You can either get the +1 health segment removed on assassinations, and there's also a legendary one that gives you +2 damage on ground attacks from assassinations. But at that point, you're doing over 10 damage with your assassinations, which is very overkill. So alternatively, you can get +1 health segments removed on assassinations with a kunai, which is your throwing knife. And if you actually go into the tools skill tree, you can actually get a couple more perks that give you even more +1 damages to your throwing knives. And it basically just gives you another ranged assassination option. So I think adding that utility is actually far more useful than just doing overkill damage. But next we can become even more stealthy if we get the chest from this same armor set that we just got the hood for. So to get the next part of this armor set, it's once again in the Yamashiro region, just here in the south side. It's actually just north of the Yamasaki castle, right here south of Kyoto in Shoryuji Castle. So starting at the viewpoint, the first one is located pretty much at the center of this castle here, right in front of this house. You can see from the tall tower I'm standing in, he's sitting right in front of the house that I just tagged on the map for you guys. Now you won't be able to assassinate him from above because he's underneath the roof. So what I'd recommend doing is just coming inside this building. And if you just scan again, you'll be able to see him from inside. You have to open the door though because he's standing a bit too far away, and then we can assassinate him quite easily. And behind where you assassinate him, you will find this collectible painting. You can find the next guy right at the entrance bridge to the castle, just here on the other side. So you can see this is the main entrance bridge into the compound, and that's the exit. And he's just going to be walking back and forwards to the watchtower and down here to the right. He's a very easy target to assassinate, walking between all these bushes. The next guy is located just southeast from this viewpoint. Right here, there's like a little mini bridge going across the lake into the rest of the compound. You can see that bridge right there. He's standing directly in front of it. So I'm on the entrance house just above him right now. It should be a great spot to assassinate him from if we can get the right angle. There we go. Now we've killed all 3 of the samurai, we just need to go to the top of the tallest tower where the viewpoint is. And once again, just like last time, we're going to use the ninja entrance to get into the attic. And you can grab some tools here, and then you can go downstairs. And then we can loot all the chests for the legendary armor set. Has a legendary effect that makes enemies less efficient at detecting sound. Now this is actually ridiculously good depending on the difficulty you're playing on especially, since enemies will struggle to hear you assassinating their friends, parkouring around, or just moving through bushes. So it just makes you a much more effective assassin. But obviously we can also engrave an additional effect onto it, and I'd recommend either getting the +2 damage on assassinations, which would bring you up to +14 damage every time you assassinate someone, if you got all the other damage perks I previously mentioned, which again is very overkill. Nobody in the game I've met so far has that much health. So instead, I'd recommend getting the throw a kunai at the closest enemy after an assassination. This will instantly kill any nearby targets after you assassinate someone, meaning you can stop yourself from getting detected or caught. And you can check out my other video I already made, I'll link it down below in the description, where we get the Tool Master Legendary Armor Set and that's where that legendary ability is from. Whenever you get a legendary item or armor set in Assassin's Creed Shadows, you unlock the legendary ability to apply to your other stuff. But so far we have a great setup for Assassinations, but one other thing we can do is get even more damage from our tools, which are so important to setting up the Assassinations. And this one is going to boost the damage we do with tools by 108%. It can be found just northwest from the starting region. If you follow the river to the north, you'll come to this large island called Ugara Pond. It's just in the southwest of the Yamashiro region, just here on the map. And you'll find the legendary chest at Ugura Peak Viewpoint. Sorry if I'm butchering all of these pronunciations, by the way. Now, once you arrive, you can just scan the area with the eagle sight, which is going to help you uncover exactly where the legendary chest is located. It's pretty much just down to the east, down the rocky cliff from the viewpoint here. It's very much tucked out of the way, so unless you do a 360 eagle vision, it's pretty easy to miss. Just hop down the rocks and you'll find the chest, which you can loot for the legendary Tatsu Triumph Trinket. And the legendary effect on this item boosts your tool damage by another 2% per mastery point that you've invested into the tool's skill tree. And in total, there's 54 mastery points to spend here, which would give you 108% more damage with tools just from that legendary effect. Obviously, if you get all of the other perks here, the actual extra damage you're doing with tools is much higher, pretty much allowing you to one-hit kill most things in the game, and if not, you can just assassinate them. You can though also engrave another legendary effect onto the item, and if you are only using the chain weapon I showed you earlier, you can get another 15% boost to your base stats, or alternatively you can just remove the chain weapon, use nothing, and get a 150% boost to your base stats. And it is a really fun way to play the game. It feels like Assassin's Creed again. But this is just Naoe. Next, you're going to need a full legendary armor and weapons set up for Yasuke. And this, we've actually got an unkillable setup you can make as soon as you unlock Yasuke as a character. So I recommend checking that out. I'll link it down below in the description.